Good morning, Lulus. This is Jen. I'm going to show you guys how to do a soft scramble this morning. A soft scramble is not what you get in a diner or a breakfast joint. Those eggs are actually cooked really hard into an omelet so they hold their structure and they can hold the filling. This is a soft scramble technique that uses the emulsifying properties of the egg yolk, the lecithin in the egg yolk, that takes a whole lot of butter and a whole lot of cream and pulls it together and keeps the eggs really soft and almost like a custard. So it's a texture change for a lot of you guys, but once you realize the beauty of an egg and what it can do, I think you guys might have an easier time of transitioning to a soft scramble. It might be your preferred way to eat them. I know it is my preferred way. Runny eggs kind of freak some people out, but know that pasteurizing eggs takes place at a very low temperature. My pan here is at about, let's see, 140 degrees maybe. Whoops. I'm at, nope, come on, shoot. I'm at 275 degrees here. So what that's going to do is still cook my eggs, but I'm going to pull them before they're fully set. Because what's going to happen is once I have all this butter in here, I got a lot of butter going on. I have cream in my eggs in here. There's whipping cream whipped in here. What that does is it prevents the eggs from fully setting, but when they do fully set, finally, after a long, prolonged exposure to heat, they'll tighten up really hard and you'll have water oozing out of your eggs because the proteins will coagulate really hard and you'll have water in your pan and you have rubberized eggs. So let's not do that today. Again, so we'll do soft scramble. Don't freak out about the amount of butter. This is about fat and flavor and texture and soft goodness. I have a smoked salmon here that's actually a dry, hot smoked salmon. It's how we do it up in the Northwest here. There's a little bit of sugar in it. It's about 1 gram per serving, so it's really not a huge amount. You can use lox, which is beautiful, but be careful not to overheat that lox or you end up cooking it. It's already cured. Leave it beautiful. I just don't like a slimy salmon. I like a hard-cooked salmon. I have here a chev, which is a very light goat cheese, not a heavy goat cheese. Bear in mind that most people eat chev when it's cold. And chev has a very barnyardy smell to it. It smells like grass and goats. So know your cheese before you start. If you use a very strong chev, it's going to be magnified about 4 or 5 times by putting it under heat. So be really careful with this. The recipe is written for cream cheese, which works beautifully in here. It's salty, it's a little bit tangy. It's hard to find a pure cream cheese without stabilizers in it, but cream cheese and salmon go really well together, but I happen to like chev. If you do use a feta cheese, do try to find a sheep milk feta. Sheep milk feta is beautiful, has a little bit of that grassy barnyard flavor, a little bit like the chev here, but not as much, and it's very different. I think you'll like it, and it's not as obnoxious when it's heated up as the chev is. So anyway, my pan is nice and warm now. It's not hot, it's over a medium-low heat, so I don't want a lot of noise when I hit this pan with my eggs. I want to hear almost nothing, so I'm going to turn it down a little bit, but I do want to get my butter in. This is roll butter, Amish roll butter. Again, no noise in the pan. It's just going to start melting. A little bit of noise. That noise right there is the water in the butter steaming off, and I want all that water removed. Anytime you put butter in a pan, you want those bubbles to stop, because whatever you hit that pan with next is going to start steaming and not actually sauteing or browning. So that might be why you guys might be having some issues in your kitchens where you're getting a wet grilled cheese sandwich for the kids, or your meat is not browning, or your vegetables are getting wetter and wetter. It's because you're actually leaving the water in the butter and not evaporating it off. So that's a whole lot of butter. The recipe I'm making today is for 1 serving. It's 3 eggs. The butter's going to actually soak in because of the egg yolk, so don't panic. It's going to be delicious. This is a really heavily salted butter. I use the Amish roll butter. I get it at Safeway. Some Albertsons carry it. I'm not sure who carries it on the East Coast, but I think Kroger is who you guys have on the East Coast, which is a cousin of Safeway. Wegmans might be a cousin. I'm not sure. So I have no more bubbles coming off. The smell of the butter is really nice. Now I'm going to add my egg. So this is 3 eggs and 3 tablespoons of cream. Don't use milk, it will not work. Okay, almost no noise hitting the pan, that's what I want. And I have my favorite heat-proof spatula here. I've had this for probably 15-20 years and I love it. One of the first heat-proof spatulas I ever got. It's got chew marks in it. It's lovely. I love the metal handle on it too. So we're gonna let this sit for just a few seconds, and we're gonna drag the cooked stuff to the center so the edges can start cooking. This is a slow process, guys. This is not what you want to be making for 500 people or hungry kids when they're impatient. This is an adult grown-up breakfast, so enjoy the process. I'm gonna move my camera here. There we go. So again, we're just slowly cooking, scraping off the bottom. I'm not putting any additives in here yet. There we go. Spread them around a little bit. Now that I've got some settings started, I can go ahead and add some aromatics in. I have chives. I have lemon zest. I know lemon and egg sounds kind of crazy, but it's not. I have some capers that are rough chopped. Capers are nice and vinegary. I did drain them on paper towels and just gave them a quick blitzing with my knife. So now I can start scraping in, bringing this together. Stir it in. Now is when I want to put the salmon in. Before this comes together completely, when it's just almost the liquid is almost all gone, and that's when I put the chev in. I don't want the chev to turn into liquid, so I'm just going to fold it in gently. Bring all that moist stuff into the center. Any of you with the word moist aversion, I'm sorry. This smells really yummy. And we're just about done. It's still glossy, it's still kind of wet. We're done. Now the great thing about eggs is that as they carry over and sit in the pan or sit on the plate, they will actually continue to cook and solidify a little more. So you can go about maybe 1 or 2 degrees warmer. There's a little bit of egg veil on my finger. It's delicious. It's nice and creamy. It is actually pasteurized in the pan right now, so don't panic. This is a nice, pretty soft dish as it is. This would be a really good place where you could take some stone ground brown mustard vinaigrette and give a little drizzle on the top for some contrast. This is a very heavy, rich dish, and the acid component of that vinegar and the mustard is going to be really, really nice. So there you have it. A nice adult, grown-up, soft scrambled breakfast, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know if you make it.